Good morning, good evening, good day, everyone, depending on whichever part of the world you're joining in. I'm Sunil Robert. I'm logging in from New Jersey, and I want to heartfully welcome you. First of all, let me wish you a wonderful new year. Wish you and your families a wonderful 2026. And I wish and pray earnestly that wherever you are, you'll continue to be a great Indian ambassador, an ambassador of our culture, our values, and all that GOPIO stands for. GOPIO has been running these webinars since last year. And as a chair of the webinar series, it has been my immense pleasure to meet with luminaries of Indian diaspora from the world of medicine, from the world of entrepreneurship, from the world of arts, from the world of literature. The entire spectrum has been represented in those webinars. In this first webinar, where we are exclusively focusing on the accomplishments and the contribution of legendary leaders who have joined us today, I would just hand it over right away and just sit back and listen. That's the earnestness and the interest with which we are excited about this. Now, traditionally, Indians and our immigrant path, particularly within North America and Europe, originally started off as different waves of professional migration, and then most recently the tech migration and so on. But without going into all this, it's a global confluence of both the Indian ethos and the Indian DNA that comes onto this global stage and performs exceedingly well. So that celebration is the focus of today's webinar. Without much ado, I want to just welcome our leaders, first of all, and our honorable guests and distinguished guests. But to take this webinar forward, first of all, I want to welcome Prakash Shah, our president, and he will just make some introductory remarks. And then Thomas, our founder and chairman, will also contribute and take it forward.
Actually, Thomas will be the one starting. So, Thomas, go ahead. Thomas, you have to unmute yourself. Thomas, unmute yourself. What's select? Okay.
Sorry, I got it. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone joining us from around the world. Namaskar. It is my great pleasure to welcome our distinguished speakers, GOPIO international and chapter leaders, live members, and participants who have joined us globally for today's webinar. Allow me to share a few words about GOPIO. Founded in 1989 at the first Global Convention of People of Indian Origin, held in New York, GOPIO is a pan-Indian non-profit organization with more than 100 chapters in 35 countries. For the last 36 years, GOPIO has served as a global platform for dialogue, advocacy, and community engagement, while strengthening the bonds between Indian diaspora and our motherland, India. GOPIO has consistently taken up issues affecting the 35 million strong Indian diaspora worldwide. Notably, GOPIO was the first organization to formally propose dual nationality at its inaugural convention in 1989. Subsequently, Government of India introduced PIO card in 2002, and then Overseas Citizen of India, which is OCI card in 2006. These are some of the landmark notable achievements with GOPIO engaged with the Government of India. Yesterday, January 9th was celebrated as Pravasi Divas, commemorating the return of one of the most renowned NRIs, Sri Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, from South Africa to India. a turning point that ultimately led to India's struggle for independence. To mark this historic homecoming, Government of India has organized Pravasi Bharatiya Divas every year since 2003. Of course, now it is in every alternate year. Friends, the Indian diaspora today represents one of the most compelling success stories in global business and enterprise. From pioneering industrialists and innovative entrepreneurs to leaders of major multinational corporations, members of the diaspora have demonstrated exceptional resilience and entrepreneurial excellence and strategic vision. Their achievements have made lasting global impact and continue to inspire generation of Indians worldwide. In today's webinar, our distinguished speakers will share their personal experience and insights into the factors that have enabled diaspora Indians to achieve sustained success in business, particularly while navigating technological change and emerging challenges. I now have the pleasure of inviting my colleague, Mr. Prakash Shah, who is the president of GOPIO, to deliver his remarks. Thank you, and I wish you all a most insightful and engagement session. Prakash.
Hi, thank you very much. The story of people of India settling abroad is actually a very, very old one. In the 11th century, people from India went to Cambodia and built a massive Hindu temple in Angkor Wat that till today is the largest temple ever built in the world. Under the British, people from India were taken as indentured labor to Africa and the Caribbean countries. But today, they are dominant business leaders in almost every country that they have been taken to. That speaks for itself. That speaks for the grit and the entrepreneurship of the Indian people. I don't want to speak for long. It is my pleasure to introduce Anil Bansal, our moderator, who made a business success as a technologist and went on to found a bank in New Jersey and is a prominent real estate investor. Anilji, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I have the immense pleasure of being the moderator today. So with no further ado, I'm going to ask Dr. Bhuvan Lall to come and speak to all of us about his experiences. And he has written many, many books, which he'll talk about. Me personally, I've been in US for almost 50 years. It's been an incredible ride, incredible life. The only thing I can tell you is that people who have immigrants typically are hardworking, consistent hardworking. We have something to achieve, and that has led to success of so many of us. So anybody who needs any information or any help is most welcome to contact me. So now that we have Dr. Bhuvan Lall, please go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Bansal. Namaskar, ladies and gentlemen, sisters and brothers around the world. I must acknowledge the importance of GOPIO and the visionary leadership of Mr. Thomas Abraham in making not only this webinar series possible, but also putting India on the world stage. Under the leadership of Mr. Prakash Shah, they have done an incredible job. Fellow speakers today include Lord Rami Ranger, a legend in England, Mr. Kali Chaudhuri, a billionaire out of California, Mr. Navneet Chugh, an incredible human being and a great success story for Indians in North America. I would also like to point out today amongst us on this webinar is a Miss India, Manaswi. As also my friend, investment banker Bruce Rabin, joining us from Riyadh. Trailblazers among the global diaspora. Indian trailblazers. The most fascinating chapter of modern India's relationship with the world. Indians left their home before history has been recorded. Indians left their shores across the world to all continents. And they made a life for themselves as monks, as teachers, as businessmen, as artists. And this has continued for several thousand years now. In modern world, since independence, the story of India in North America has brought out a very fascinating chapter of how the genius of a nation gets exposed in the most competitive environment on planet Earth, United States of America, and succeeds like nobody else. From Amartya Sen to Zubin Mehta, from Dalip Singh Sondh to Zoran, from Ashok Amrit Raj to Priyanka Chopra. I can carry on naming thousands and thousands of Indians who have made a home for themselves in USA and reached the pinnacle. Similarly in Europe, the Hinduja family, coming out of India from Sindh to Iran, and then moving on to Europe, Switzerland, Monaco, England, and becoming one of the richest families of Europe, building a business which is transcontinental, speaking several languages, learning the way business is done, excelling, and reaching heights which no local nationality could reach. In Africa, the Chanderia family, out of Nairobi, again building a global empire. A family from Gujarat goes overseas in a different climate, different language, different environment, faces racial issues, faces all kinds of challenges, and succeeds globally. Now they have offices from Singapore to Toronto, still headquartered in Africa. Many such stories are in Singapore, Dubai, Southeast Asia, Caribbean, Latin America. Indians have succeeded in almost all spheres of activity, but most notably in business. There is something about an Indian that is so unique that makes business possible globally. And not only globally, ethically. The characteristics of an Indian, the character of India is reflected by these businessmen. While they have traveled overseas, they made a name for themselves. They have kept a little bit of Indianness in themselves. Their families represent that Indianness. Their way of doing business represents their Indianness. In North America, if you are stuck in a small town anywhere else, any part of the USA or North America, you will find a motel, most likely owned by an Indian, a hotel owned by an Indian. Families working 24 hours. This uniqueness, this originality has been reflected over time. In 1929, November 1929, Noni Gopal, an Indian revolutionary who had escaped from India, reached North America with the help of the Gadar movement. He married here. And in November 1929, with the stock market being what it was, America going into seemingly a depression situation, his first child was born. He named him Amar. Noni Gopal's son was a brilliant Indian boy. He went on to study in MIT. He became a professor at MIT. And later, an inventor who built a global brand. Amar Gopal Bose. Amar Gopal Bose built a global brand called Bose. A music system that is known worldwide. Most people think it's American or European or Japanese. They don't even know the origin is Indian. That is the genius of India. That man represented not only an inventive mind, a scientific accomplishment, but the business sense to build a brand which could go global, yet have an Indian origin in it. He was a billionaire, among the first billionaires out of India in North America. When Prime Minister Vallabhbhai decided to start the Pravasi Divas, I was in India. And I saw thousands and thousands of Indians living overseas suddenly finding their connect with India. And some of these Trailblazers Indians have been awarded Pravasi Divas at Pravasi Bharati Awards. And these awards now signify how Indian success stories in India, out of India, can be celebrated year after year. And when I come to California, when I see the success stories of average Indians, people just doing their regular jobs in universities, in health facilities, so many other areas, the IT industry, you realize the society actually respects you for your academic brilliance, for your hard work, for your family values, and for your ethical behavior. And over a period of time, this becomes the character of a nation. And this is what's represented globally. In England, in Europe, you have now a very unusual situation where you have a lot of discrimination among people. But the Indians have succeeded in going past that. They have made a name for themselves. We have Lord Ranger today. I have read his life story, an incredible story. Gentleman arrives in England with £2 in his pocket and becomes a multi-millionaire and a member of the House of Lords. It's worth a Hollywood movie. That's what movies are about. A Punjabi gentleman reaching the top in the English society. Most unusual story. And he's the Lord of Mayfair. Not just a Lord, just Lord of Mayfair in England. And one of his proteges, Rishi Sunak, becomes the Prime Minister of England. So when you look at Trailblazers, there is no end to it. There are thousands and thousands of names. We have to use this very important asset to our advantage in making global policies, in defining the future of humanity, in deciding the various treaties and global trade associations. We are not utilizing it. This asset is remaining unused. Outside of the Chinese diaspora across the world, the Indians are the most powerful diaspora. The Indian government, the Indian foreign ministry, the various embassies around the world have to come together to make use of the GOPIO organization, to make use of our Trailblazers and knit them into a sort of a group that can continue to enhance India's presence. Today, the world awaits India. A nation of 1.5 billion people, the largest democracy in the world, is actually the largest democracy in the history of the world. Almost 1 billion people vote every time Indian national elections happen. This has never happened before on planet Earth. 1/7 of human population gets to choose a leader democratically. This is something that is making India a strong country. We believe in democracy. We are a multicultural society. We are the only nation on planet Earth where the Jewish people have never been persecuted. We have multiple faiths that have come out of India. All these uniquenesses of our nation, our civilization, our ancient way of living are relevant today. We have Trilok Malik today on this program, on this Zoom call. He started yoga in New York. Yoga has become a worldwide phenomenon. The first person who made yoga a business across the world was actually a Russian lady who became an actress in Indian cinema, Indra Devi. And she came out to Hollywood before everybody else and made the big stars in Hollywood her disciples. Then she took yoga to South America. It became a global business. We have other aspects of our life which we are able to do, which nobody else can do, because our origin is in Sanskrit. We are able to use technology to our advantage. And in the AI world, I see many possibilities emerging for India. I hope the Trailblazers who are on this show today and the Trailblazers of the future who are hearing this are going to get inspired and find ways of using the secret sauce and the secrets of these people to enhance their lives and take India forward. It's been a great honor and a rare privilege to be today with you. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for a great talk. I can hear somebody in the back. Dr. Lall, you have written many, many books on the night in the last 6-7 years. What really lives of the heroes of the modern India? What drives you to do that? What is the driving force behind that?
Thank you, Mr. Bansal. I look for heroism in common people. And I also would like to tell stories of people who have not been recognized, unsung heroes. It's very important to, look at India from a perspective of, say, 100, 150 years and see who were the names that contributed. For example, Lala Dayal. His accomplishments have never been highlighted by Indian textbooks or the governments. He was the first Indian, in fact, to come here in America and teach at a university. He came here in 1911. He set up the Ghadar Party. He went to Washington and told the Americans that Indians are not lunatics, as your immigration law says. We should allow Indians to come to America. He started the movement that enabled gentlemen like you to become success stories in America. So those sort of visionary people got lost in the mist of time. And because they had no political support, nobody talked about it. But I must tell you, under the prime ministership of Narendra Modi, things have changed. There is a statue of Subhas Chandra Bose right in the crossroads of India Gate, the most important point in Delhi. And there is a whole set of new things that have happened. There's a park in the name of Lala Dayal and 14 other revolutionaries who helped India in the freedom movement. And this goes across every religion. So those things have happened. And now I'm doing a story of the life of Buddha to tell the story of the greatest Indian export, Buddhism. Thank you.
Thank you. I was going to ask you about that, but thank you very much. And I hope you keep in touch. And I hope I get the privilege of listening to you and reading all your books. I'm really looking forward to your movie on Buddha. Thank you very much, sir. Now we are going to have Dr. Kali Chaudhuri, who is the founder and chairman of KPC Group. Sir, welcome back. Welcome to our Indian Diaspora seminar. Would love to have you give us your input as to how you feel this Indians have done in US and outside of India, and what's your impression, sir?
Namaskar to everybody. My name is Kali Chaudhuri. The gentleman before me already spoken what we have done. I like to say what we need to do more. I mean, history is very important for us. Unfortunately, the history of India, not 11th century, and even before that, has been distorted, disfigured by English, by Muslim, but the truth always prevails. Today, nobody can forget the name. I mean, if you ask 10 Indian about their name Pingla, I don't think 9 would not know. But Vigyani, scientist Pingla, talk about artificial intelligence, talk about not universe, but multiverse, talk about the calculus. He is the father of calculus. But we don't know that. Chandra Bose is the father of radio communication, but somebody else stole it. We must go back to the history, and my respected people here is that, yes, we have done a lot being here, but we now have many challenges. So instead of speaking of the glory, we need to, GOPIO should focus on what is our current problem. There's no question that we are meritorious. There is no question the Indians are the most liberal, more affordable, most kind people in the world. If you look at our history, we did not kill anybody. We did not put expedition to any country. We didn't get in anywhere, put a knife in the neck and say you have to convert. We don't believe in conversion, but we believe in the future and science. And look at what is happening in America today. President, I was a very strong supporter of Mr. Trump. He knows my name by my name. But what is happening here, you cannot blame him. He is putting all his energy for America. But we must put all our energy from India. India is the most powerful. India, now fourth largest economy. And if you look at it, Price Waterhouse equation, it'll take 1975, another 75 years for us to become number 3, which is not true. There are calculations in next 10 years we can become. Under the Prime Minister Modi, things can happen. People came here with $8, $2, $3, and they become multi-millionaire. Look at this Indian economy today, and you grow this not according to Price Waterhouse, but grow with our energy and make it bigger. We can control the world, but we don't control the world by atom bomb, or don't control the world by putting a knife in somebody's back, by knowledge, by vidya, by education. So Indians should rise to the top, in fact, rising everywhere. And it is the best day for us, it's the best time for us. I think nobody should get depressed about India and America relations getting deteriorated. My vision is going to get better. If you submit, surrender, you'll get worse. If you fight strong, you'll get better. Let's be proud of the past, but let's go forward, and GOPIO should put energy to make things better for Indian here, Indian everywhere, and that is the race we should take, that is the oath we should take, and Jai Hind.
Thank you very much for your incredible energy you're showing. I wanted to ask you something. You are a physician turned into a business person, and that we have very large number of young physicians in US. What is your vision, and what do you see as opportunities in the immediate future for them?
First of all, we should not put a name or a color. Physician is also a human being. Physicians also need to eat. Physicians also need to fight the racism. Physician has to be an Indian. So our culture, especially I am a doctor, and my wife first goal was to make my both children doctor. I did not. I wanted them to be a great human. We should not go for money. Money will come for us. I ran a very large medical group. At one time, we had, right now, as the present we speak, we have 4,000 doctors in our group, directly and indirectly. Now, I'll be very honest with you. We all say our aim is to serve the people. But behind that, there is economic interest, because when we came here, physician is to earn a lot of money. And the money did push everywhere. And I must tell you, I'm not one of them. I was not. I also very much interested in money, make a living. But if I go out, can I change my color? Can I look like a white man? If I go out, can I forget my mantra that I am a Muslim? I am a Hindu. I am a Sanatani. Be proud of it. The thing is, basic training. If I say something today to a doctor, hey, you do something, he won't change. We need to start changing in the very early stage of life. Our older brother and sister all have to understand. We should teach them Indian language, Indian culture. We should talk about Pingla. We should talk about Aryabhatta. We should talk about Sushruta. I had a conference in an Indian doctor, and I asked, raise your hand, how many people know the name of Sushruta? Less than 50% people knew Sushruta. He's the originator of surgery. So my point of view, me giving a lecture and talking about history would not do it. We should start the education from the beginning. We are building a school called KG to PG, kindergarten to postgraduate. We all have money, we are very successful, we all have Rolls Royce, but we must do one thing. Part of the money should go for education. You cannot have this kind of organization. What we are doing is a part of our education. We should do this more often, and we should start from the grassroots. You cannot tell a 50 years old man, you change your mind today. But if you tell, I have got 6 grandchildren. Yesterday, I asked them, who are you? All raised their hand. We are Indian. We should start. I know compared to other nation, other immigrant, Indian parents are much better. But better is not the best. We should do a little bit more. And the doctor, I'm not discouraging anybody not to be a doctor.
Dr. Chaudhuri, can I come back to you, please? We have Lord Ranger waiting for in to speak. I will definitely get back to you.
Thank you.
We'd love to hear from you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now I have the distinguished pleasure of inviting another luminary, Lord Rami Ranger, who's been in England for a long time, and we'll get to hear from him. Welcome, Lord Ranger. We'd love to hear your opinion about this matter.
Anilji, first of all, thank you very much to all of you to giving me opportunity to share my journey with you. And I am indebted to Bhuvan Lalji, a superior intellectual person. I've read his book. I have seen his commitment to the cinema, Indian cinema, to the freedom fighters. He has done sterling work in bringing those people to life. Many people, for example, Gadar movement, I had no idea until I read his book of Dayal. So therefore, each one of us are a star, son of Mother India. We all have unique qualities in us. And this is why what makes India very strong, because none of us are just a mediocre. We always excel and add value to whatever we do. Let me just begin with our history. As Kaliji said, we are Sanatani. Sanatani civilization was ahead of every other civilization in the world. And Sanatani civilization is still surviving, still thriving, even having relentless attack from foreigners, because India was a very prosperous, very rich country, and it was attracting all these looters and plunderers who came to destroy Indian civilization. But luckily, they failed and they could not destroy completely, but they did destroy a lot. First thing first, they attacked the temples. Temple was the source of knowledge. The Pandit had so much wisdom, knowledge. Our Mahabharata and Gita, they are source of knowledge and wisdom. Everything revolves around those manuscripts, which we have in our possession. So we were ahead in architects. You just have to see a 1500, 2000 years old temple to see how far ahead we were. Sanatana Dharma was the only religion which inspired every other religion before they became recognized. So Sanatani civilization has affected and influenced every other civilization you can think of. I remember reading history. People from China used to come to India to study. We had a huge universities in India. Nalanda University was burned. It took 3 months to put out the fire. It was that many books were there, knowledge. And the invaders who came, they could not understand. They wanted to attack our mandirs, our libraries, and our there. But anyway, we are here where we are. So we have to learn from the past to make our future. Our past was because we were not united. We were divided into many kingdoms, principalities, and all sorts of nonsense. We were not strong. And today, India is very strong because whatever we are today as a united India, very strong, number 4th economy in the world, and growing at the rate of 8%. Our defense industry is probably 2nd or 3rd in the world. We are king of IT. We're king of pharmaceutical. We are king of so many things. And with Prime Minister Modi came on the scene, we are all very proud to call ourselves Indian. I remember 40 years ago or 30 years ago, I used to hide my identity. I was ashamed to say I'm Indian because India was newly independent, so much poverty. the nearly 1,000 years of colonial rule and 200 years of British rule, which made India bankrupt because they took even the railway line from India to make arms in British factories. So you can imagine the cotton was taken from India to United Kingdom, and then cloth was sent back to India. So all sorts of atrocities Indians went through. But we are because we have this value system which we have inherited from our fathers and forefathers. When somebody says that you came to England with nothing, I correct him. I say I came with nothing, but I came with values, Sanatani values, which are the values where I know how to treat my mother, how to treat my father, how to treat my sister, how to treat my brother, how to treat my neighbor, how to be loyal, how to be positive, hardworking, all sorts of value system which we inherited. I'll just give you two examples. India and Pakistan got independent the same day. In fact, Pakistan got one day early. And you can see the value system of Pakistan has taken it to different direction, and the Indian value system where diversity is accepted, respected, and protected through laws. But in Pakistan, where I was born, and my father was killed because he was opposed the partition of India. He was a visionary. He could foretell the consequences of religious disharmony. He pleaded with the then Muslim leaders not to cut and run and fall for the British divide and rule policy, which had turned into divide and run. So therefore, India, after independence, will be secular, democratic, one person, one vote. As a result, together we'll make our destiny. But when people are given incentive to take something for nothing in the name of religion, they went. And unfortunately, I must share one more sad story that Mughal ruled India for 600 years. They never empowered their women. They never invested in education. And that's why they left behind. And today, I'm a single parent child. My mother was widowed at the age of 35 with 8 children. And you can imagine if my mother wasn't empowered, I wouldn't be the most decorated citizen of United Kingdom to receive Queen's Award or Royal Honor for 8 occasions and now sit in Parliament. Because the value system, if you have good value, you're a good human being. If you have bad value, you're a bad person. It's the value system which we inherited as a Sanatani takes us from strength to strength. Wherever we go, whichever country we go, we will shine because we are unique individuals and we have ancient civilization in our blood, and we know we do not create ghettos. We integrate in every level. You will see in America, we're in the army, we're in the police, we are, business, we're doctor, we're engineer, you name it. We are not there to change. Unfortunately, some people go to these countries, West country, their main aim is to convert people, not to build their life, to make their, children's future, whatever. So that is the psychologically people are damaged that they come to the United Kingdom. Now they want to change United Kingdom to the system which let them down because that's the brainwashing and the value system. So therefore, I see each and every one of you are highly accomplished, but I would like to share one more thought with you that no matter how rich you become, until you have connection with political parties, you do not exist in democracy. You can be
So that
rich.
was going to be my question to you, sir, as to what do you think are the challenges which the young NRIs are facing in places like UK and US or will face, and what do you think we should watch out for?
Anilji, life is very simple. As you know, I had no father, no elite education, no family wealth, no school boy network. I came and changed United Kingdom. I created awareness that how important it is to become politically and publicly spirited. We were kicked out of Uganda, Fiji, Burma, you name it. And you know what happened to Jewish people in Germany. They were like us, making money, socializing, big houses, big car, big, you name it, all say. And people resent if you do not become decision maker. So it took me 30 years because I realized that I'm not here in United Kingdom as a immigrant who's going to go back. My children are born here, my grandchildren are born. I'm not going back, so might as well take part. So if you understand your subject very, very carefully, because I started with £2, but I understood my business marketing, how to market product. Today, I market my product in 130 countries and won 5 Queen's Award from the Prime Minister for achieving growth 30% year on year on year on year, from £2 to 200 million turnover. But I just say one more thing. It is our mindset. We are no longer poor. We do not have to keep on running after money, money, money. Money will be left here. One jerk in your heart and you're gone. And all this money will be left, your coat and suits will be hanging in the wardrobe. So what you have to do is to have to think, how do I leave a legacy which will be beneficial to people? Because your business will not be able to, somebody will not be able to run the business the way you run. So therefore, I appeal to all you people that you got to have a political connection. You have to influence the thinking. Today, I can tell you that it took me 6 years to convince the British people to have a free trade agreement. Not me alone. I had the support of David Cameron, I had the support of Boris Johnson and Rishi, that we need to have a free trade agreement with a country like India, because we share each other's values. We are secular, democratic country. As I just said, the diversity is accepted. There are every race, religion, culture thrives in India. And, there are so many strands of Islam. Only India, you'll find 18 types of Islam. Yes, but in certain countries, you won't even find, they'll be fighting. But therefore, this is the strength of our Mother India. So what we have to do today is to change our psychology, that we are no longer going back. We need to create something here. Those politicians, if you want politician, if you want leader, you have to support them financially. Because if you understand, in business, people headhunt. They'll go out of the way and say, Anilji, come and join me. Let's work with you. In politics, they actually undermine others to surge ahead. It's either you or me. I'm not going to give you a chance. So we created Conservative Friends of India, from where we had a group of people. There's a proverb, Delhi, people will give you direction to Delhi, but they will not give you fare. And we said our motto was, you come to politics, we will give you training, we'll give you money, and we'll show you how it's done. And we'll be a group of people. So therefore, you are so rich, you don't need more money, you already got it. And you probably have less time than money. You all have more money than time, I can guarantee you today, because we all have shelf life. 80 to 90 is the shelf life. After that, you'll be in the wheelchair. So therefore, become publicly spirited. Tell your children, son, if you don't want to go into politics, but do give money to a politician. Become known, sit with them. Tell them you are connected with them. You are not going to be on the fringes of society, that I'm all right, Jack. I'm just here to make money. I'm here to make money. And if you keep on making money,
no, totally. I think you really hit it on the nail, that we have made money. Now it's time for us to integrate with the society and become leaders, true leaders, rather than just the money-making machine. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for your inspiration and your conversation about this. We certainly are impressed, very impressed, and we follow you. Thank you again, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Anilji. Thank you. When I grow up, I want to be like you, banker.
And I want to be like you, sir. I want to be a lord too.
You won't have money,
not
like
just a landlord.
Thank you. You can have the lordship. Give me the money.
Now I have the distinct,
because I'm now in the middle of shifting defense production from UK to UP, because that's what we can do. We can do big things, because the Indian defense industry is expanding. British in defense actually contracting. By joining hands with each other, we can produce tanks, and India is already making aircraft carriers, and we can make aircraft carriers from Britain. Why should they should go anywhere else? So there's a lot of things happening with the free trade agreement. It's the mother of all free trade agreement, but somebody has to visualize the potential. Finally, we all blessed with sight, but very few with vision. So we need to create that vision to see the possibility. Like me, from £2 in a shed, I was in a shed because I could see the possibility, the British products are very popular. So I left Britain. I went to Caribbean. I went to Africa, Far East, Middle East. I said, Britain is full of British products. So you have to see a good doctor knows which heart goes into which body. A good businessman knows which product goes into which market. So I've done all right for £2.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now, I have an incredible pleasure of inviting Mr. Navneet Chugh. What a story you are, sir. You're very, very, from a law firm to a business person, and such an illustrious life you have had. Love to hear from you.
Thank you, Anil. What a great session. I don't think I've ever been in any platform with lords and billionaires and Hollywood, Bollywood celebrities and Miss India, former Miss India, Manasvi Mamgai. So I don't know where I fit in this jambalaya. Thank you.
Please. Go ahead.
Navneet, go ahead.
Love to hear. Would you like to, yeah.
Go
Would
ahead.
you like to make some points first?
Yeah, sure.
Or should I ask?
I think the 5.2 million Indians in United States are the luckiest people in the planet. I think people forget that US didn't allow Indians to enter United States till 1965. Between 1945 and 1965, only 100 Indians were allowed to enter the country for 20 years. Before that, from 1882 onwards, there was a Chinese exclusion, and the case went to Supreme Court that are Indians to be included in Chinese exclusion, and the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the U.S. government against an Indian in 1922, and 1,000 Indians at that time were stripped of their citizenship. So by 1965, about 200 million people from Europe had already moved into United States. So you'll rarely meet an Indian in United States that came to this country before 1965. And I think there's 1.4 or 1.5 billion Indians in India, and about half of them would move to US at the drop of a hat. And in the last since 1965, in the last about 60 years, only 5.2 million Indians have come here. And actually, not even five, because out of the 5.2 are 2 million that were born here. So I think Economist magazine last year in an article said that the Indians in the United States are the luckiest Indians anywhere in the world. I think we make more money than any other ethnic community, including the locals. We're the most educated. Everybody knows the statistics. 28% of the country has a bachelor's degree, 70% of Indians do, 8% have masters, 40% of Indians do. Per capita income, the country is at 75,000 and we're at 110. So I think we're very lucky and fortunate. And now the issue is, what do we do with all this luck and fortune? Anil?
Go ahead, Anil, if you want to ask a question. Anil?
So I think the crowd is spoken. I think the crowd
No.
wants to hear from Manasvi and not me, which is fine with me. I'm not taking it personally. If I
No.
was
I thought you would talk a little bit more, but you
Yeah.
handle a lot of nonprofits in the world, and you say that the secret of USA is not capitalism or democracy. It is the nonprofit sector. What do you mean, and why do you say that?
Yes. So the nonprofit sector in United States and to some extent in India is under attack. And I've had the fortune of working with a lot of nonprofits, big ones and small ones. And I want to share with you, Anil, and everyone on the call, on the webinar, that the nonprofit world of United States is a huge secret, and it's available for the world to see, but for some reason the world doesn't want to see or don't see or are not being told. And so, for instance, 1 out of 10 people in United States work for a nonprofit, and that doesn't happen anywhere in the world. So there's 160 million people working in the United States, 16 million work for a nonprofit.
I
All
didn't
of
know
the
that.
major universities, yeah, and nobody believes it. But then in a crowd, when I ask people, do you have a friend or a relative that works at a hospital or a university or a college or a school? Almost all hands go up. And most of the colleges, including Harvard and Stanford, are nonprofits. 90% of the hospitals in the country are nonprofits. And in every country, in the 192 countries in the planet, every country, the big problems are in the government's hand. In United States, all the problems are in the nonprofits' hand. Healthcare, education, disaster relief, art, music, culture. The largest nonprofits in the country are Salvation Army helping the poor and Goodwill helping the poor. And last year, Americans gave $600 billion to the 1.5 million charities in the United States. And these charities then charge money, right? So Harvard charges money, hospital charge money. So they received $600 billion in donations. Then they charged $1.8 billion
Trillion.
dollars,
Trillion.
and so it's a $2.4 trillion economy. So the United States economy is somewhere between 25 to 30 trillion, and 10% of that or 9% of that is the nonprofit world. The $600 billion in donations came 70% from individuals, 5% from corporates, 10% from foundations, and 15% in bequests. So, for instance, the Catholic Charities of USA, it's a nonprofit. And if you go to their website, you'll see a shocking line that you'll never forget as long as you live. And the Catholic Charities of USA that runs all the Catholic charity churches of United States. On their website, it says, after the government of United States, we're the second largest safety provider in the country. That's how much work they do. Now, Goodwill and Salvation Army and several hospitals have revenue of over $5 billion. There's 3 million charities in India. The collective revenue is less than $5 billion. And Goodwill's revenue is more than 5 billion. That's one charity in the United States. And there's 1.5 million of them. So imagine if this was to be done in India tomorrow, that there's 900 million people of working age, and 10% of them, 90 million, work for a nonprofit. And what a beautiful system it is. Somebody else's money, somebody else sets up a charity, somebody else raises the money, somebody else runs the charity, and somebody else is the beneficiary of that whole system, which creates so much employment. And there's less fraud and less bureaucracy and less inefficiency in the nonprofit world than there is maybe in the government world.
Navneet, your conversation with me has been so illuminating. I am absolutely convinced that majority of the listeners had no idea that you really given a new dose of information to all of us, and we really appreciate it. One of the questions somebody has asked is Ranjit Gupta. He wants to know, compare China and India immigration and in the nonprofit world. One question is that the Chinese community do more to support the next generation. What is GOPIO doing to support the Indians' next generation in terms of education, language, training, and understanding of Bharat, motherland Bharat? I don't know if it's this for you, but you should take a note of it. But I think it may be more for Thomas also.
So 19, I'll say one line, and then Thomas has plenty of other stuff to say. I'll say one line. 1978, the per capita income of an average China person and an India person was the same, $300 per year. Today, 47 years later, China per capita income is $17,000 and India is $4,000. And a massive gap has happened. Worldwide, the average per capita income is 17,000 and China has reached that. So the richest country per capita is Qatar at $140,000 a year. The poorest 10 countries are in Africa at $1,400 a year. India is at 4,000. United States is at 80,000 and China is at 17,000, which is the world average. So our average is 4,000. We need to be, to get to world average, we need to be at 17,000. And if you multiply that, it comes to $1 trillion a month being cheated from Indians. So if you want to make it a fair world, for Indians to be at 17,000 per year, we're $12 trillion short. And whether it's being cheated from us or we are allowing it to be cheated, the point is we Indians are not less educated or less smart or less hardworking than the Chinese. We're equally, if not more or less, equally as smart and educated. So what is the deal? What's the difference? Why is it that China went from $300 to 18,000 and we are from 300 to 4,000? What's going on? That's what we need to look at. So it's the system. It's the same Indians that are running Dubai. 51% of Indians Dubai. It's the same Indians, Sundar Pichai and Satya Nadella and Shankar Narayan running Silicon Valley. So what is it? The system in India needs to be fixed. And I think for the listener asking the question about what is GOPIO doing, I think all of us, from to whom much is given, much is expected in return. All of us have a duty when we get up in the morning and look at ourselves in the mirror. We're brown. There's a reason why God made you brown. There's a reason why God sent you to the United States. There's a reason why God gave you so much. Please fix India.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I will
Thank
say
you
a few
very much,
words.
Mr. Chugh.
Yeah, I will say a few words. See, GOPIO, when it was started in 80s, late 80s, there was a lot of human rights violation of people around the world. In Guyana, Trinidad, in Fiji, in South Africa, even Malaysia, in Sri Lanka, and even in the United States, we have this dogbuster issue where one of the Indians was killed in New Jersey. So our initial thrust was looking at the human rights violations. So we became an advocacy group, filed petitions in the United Nations on behalf of Indo-Fijians, Indo-Sri Lankans. So our first initial thrust was to get our community into the mainstream of the people wherever they live, especially in the political arena, which they accomplished. Our people became president and prime ministers of many countries. And then, of course, in the last 20 years, our people have come quite top, whether it is Portugal or whether it is Ireland or England, even developed countries. Even in the United States, we are done politically. So our non-profit setup network was to help these people. But there is a disconnect, what Mr. Guptara asked. See, most of the language, culture, it is all taken care of or done by the local community organization, which we cooperate with them. But we do see a disconnect with the new generation, which we are trying to correct. Especially in many of the chapters, we say that involve the local community in the local activities, whether we live in United States or Britain or New Zealand or any place, our thrust is to help the local society, non-profits, raise money for cancer research or cancer patients, or whether it is soup kitchens, provide food to the pantry. We did during that COVID time, we supplemented food in many of the food pantry. So our new generation have interest in that. And also we started bringing them to high school students and college students coming and networking. So that is a way to reach out to the younger generation to identify with the larger community.
Any comments, Prakasha?
I think basically we have to go on. GOPIO has been trying very hard to connect the worldwide community together, and we're succeeding somewhat. And we have to use technology to do this. If we were to try to gather people, it's going to be very difficult because people have to travel long distances to get together. But with technology, we can connect very easily in these types of sessions. And so that is our idea is to bring together people. And once people are together, other ideas will come from that. So the idea is to at least start this communication ball rolling and do this in a regular, systematic way. So people expect that every second Saturday of every month, there is going to be a webinar on some important topic that is of interest to us. And so this is how we can grow as a community and connect with each other, gain ideas from each other. I've learned so much from what Navneet had to say. So this is what you have to do. We have to learn from each other. Today's session, Bhuvan Lall ji, Kali ji, Rami ji, they all spoke so well. And we all have something to learn from each of this. And we need to keep doing this. And
in the end, I'd love to hear something also. We have had the pleasure of having Manasvi, Miss India, on this call. So let's bring her in, please, if possible, and ask her to speak for 2 minutes. That is your young blood. But so welcome. Manviji, you have to unmute yourself.
And there is also one question later on, maybe you can take it.
Sure.
Okay.
So I'm going to be actually speaking in the next one. So I'm just going to be very, very short. This is such an inspiring and the best way to start like a weekend morning. Like there's no better way to like hear all of you speak and be here and just get some of your aura and inspiration. I really want to thank first Navneet to have introduced me to Bhuvan, and Bhuvan for you to like introduce me to Mr. Thomas and be here. I mean, you guys are like actually the pillars of the community. And I'm so grateful and honored that you guys have included me here, and I feel like a family. I've had incredible luck and fortune, like, Navneet said. Also, I love what Navneet said, that, a lot of success is just showing up. So, thank you all for showing up. I love that I was here. I'm here. I'm in the most discouraged profession in the world, I would say. Acting and entertainment. Like every time, like a young kid or, even me growing up, I was like, hey, I want to be an actor, or I want to be a producer, or I want to be in the arts. They're like, no, go to college. Don't do this. So, I've been very fortunate and lucky to be successful in the most discouraged profession in the world. I was Miss India, I've worked in TV and film, and now I'm in the US and Hollywood. Doing some, very fortunate things. I just shot a movie with Mr. Al Pacino. And now, again, the question in my mind is, hey, how can I contribute back? Or how can I help the next kid from Uttarakhand and Chandigarh, where I grew up? So I'm thinking on those lines now, and I'm very fortunate to be here today.
Thank
Very
you,
impressive. I think we'll end with there's a question from Vatsala.
Yeah,
there's a question.
There was a question from Professor Vivek Nagpal. He just said, why do we let people steal from us? Or shall we say, when will the stealing stop? That was probably for Mr. Navneet.
I think a lot has happened. We were the richest country in the world from year 1 to 1750. The decline started from 25%. We got 2.5% of the world economy in 1991. And we can sit here for days and years trying to figure out what happened. But I think we need to move on. Whatever happened, it's been 78 years. We're now independent. I think all of us should have one mantra in life. I get up in the morning and I only have one mantra, that India needs to be a first world nation by 2047 on our 100th anniversary. Our per capita income now is 4,000. To be a first world nation, we need to be at 15,000. That's $11,000 per person, 1.4 billion people in India. It can happen. We just need to fix everything. And the most beautiful thing is, you can even ask ChatGPT, by the way, that, hey, tell me 7 things that I need to do to have India be a first world nation by 2047. And it gives you a beautiful answer. So I'm thinking, where are all the smart people of India? Why don't we have a committee that look at the top 5, 6, 7 things we need to do to become a first world nation and just do it?
Just
It's
do it.
not that difficult. And sometimes in life, you just have to move a little lever and it changes everything, right? So 1 inch move makes a million-mile difference. So I think who's stealing, what happened, all of that, let's move on. There's no problem in this world. The only problem is not finding a solution. There's enough smart Indians around the world. We can fix it.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Let me say
Let's
something.
end.
We today, in purchasing power parity terms, India is the only country in the world whose PPP is like 22 rupees to a dollar versus the actual 90 rupees to a dollar. So in the purchasing power parity terms, in terms of actual purchasing power, in terms of the actual economy of India, India is today 17 trillion economy. And for us to be the first state, we're already almost there. You know what I'm saying? So I think, how do we apply that to our success? And the way to do that is to increase our exports. If we can come up with more products and things we can export that the world wants, our rupee to dollar equation will change. And all of a sudden, all the numbers we're looking at will be different. And we will suddenly realize that we are already there. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think a lot of times it is our mindset that needs to change of where we are doing.
I think we are 15 minutes over. Thomas, do you want us to say thank you to
No,
everybody
we
and
can
close
basically, if there are any more questions, we can take. We have another 5
I
minutes.
didn't see any questions. That's why I.
Kumu Gupta has raised a hand.
We can bring her in into the.
Kumu, if you can unmute and.
Kumu, go ahead. Can you unmute? Okay, 1 second. I'll try to unmute her. Let her speak.
Yeah, I
1 second.
And
I got it. I got it.
Mm.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. What an invigorating conversation we've had. I just wanted to say that we should also look at the other side, which is integrate and educate the society that you're in, the mainstream. Like, for example, in the United States, a tremendous effort has been successful in making Diwali a state holiday, and there's a big push to make it a federal holiday. So, so that also helps the Indian community, the NRI diaspora, integrate with the mainstream. And there's a lot of good that you can learn from other countries and other cultures wherever you are. So I think that should be, or also like integrating the Indian Vedic alternative medicine into mainstream medicine. There's a big push from the Indian side. Actually, the WHO has launched a committee to look into traditional medicine being part of the mainstream globally. So I think we need to do that too. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Namiji has raised the question. Nami?
Yes.
Namiji,
So, yes.
Can you open your screen too?
I cannot do the video because
Okay, all right. Go ahead.
However, so I have both not necessarily question, but a comment and reaffirmation. So although the topic for our today's session, first of all, let me back up. My name is Nami Kaur and I'm the Global Ambassador, but I also have a dual role at GOPIO. I'm the chair of the GOPIO Foundation. So you can imagine everything that Navneet ji said was music to my ears. Now let me go back and talk about the session today. Although we talked about the progress, the luminaries, and actually we said the business world, perhaps there was a little mismatch there, but I think what we landed up doing was phenomenal, because it's everything that makes the world go round besides business and technology. So the fact that Lord Rami Ranger brought up how, in order to really go forward with all your successes and make that impact, having political clout is essential. And then what Navneet brought to the table was really insightful to me. I didn't realize all those statistics that he mentioned. And also this whole view that how that is another engine for growth and success and welfare. So I personally think that as our talk evolved, even though the topic was focused on business, and I know a couple of people commented in the chat session that, why are we talking about all this? But I think it all worked out beautifully because we got a holistic view about all of the contributions of our Indian luminaries, the thought leaders, the trailblazers. So I want to compliment each one of you and thank you, each of the speakers. It was a phenomenal success, and we're going to work on that. And Navneet ji, you have my personal commitment. I have some plans to go forward from GOPIO perspective to make a dent in that. So I'm going to be engaging many of you who are the trailblazers to help with that and guide me how we go forward. So thanks again, and Happy New Year to all of you.
Vatsala, can you bring everybody on the screen? Can you
Yes.
unmute everybody?
Yes.
We can hear
Vatsala, you are
Pawar
on.
has hands up. Vasu Pawar needs to have something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bring everybody on the screen now.
Yeah. They should be all on screen if you
And
go
also,
by.
everybody can unmute themselves right now.
Vasuji, go ahead. Vasuji, go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, Vasu Pawar is our chair of the GOPIO Youth and Young Professional. In fact, she's planning a program in February. Go ahead, Vasu.
Yeah, see, I was really fascinated to know so much from all of you. A wonderful session, absolutely. Everybody talked about the next generation and how we uplift them. And that's my biggest area. I also have my personal nonprofit organization leading to the youth. And then I'm the chair for GOPIO also. So I have two nonprofits here. And the biggest problem that I face is the funding part of it. And most people are very slow on giving any kind of contribution to us. And I wish Mr. Navneet would help us in that. He's in our community over here. And I'm also doing a huge film industry event here because Manasvi mentioned something of very importance, because when I did my event in New Jersey and New York and Australia and all that, we realized that there were a lot of kids that were interested in acting, directing, creating documentaries and all that. And that event of mine is coming up soon for GOPIO and for nonprofit organizations here. And I would like the funding part of it to be supporting us so we can get ahead of the game. And that's where we are stuck always. I have greatest potential of doing the biggest events in so many areas. There's going to be a youth conference coming up live also. There's going to be a GOPIO youth conference coming on February 14. And I would like all of you to be there. And then I have this film industry event, which is a much needed event. And I'm planning all of those, but I need the financial support of all the Indians who are here in the United States, who are financially so sound and fail to support us. And so I'm really hoping that all of you support me in that manner so I can get ahead of the game. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Vasu,
before we go ahead,
Vasu, Manasvi also is president of South Asian in Media and Arts Foundation.
Okay.
And the foundation is helping people, Indian South Asians in US and in India, get into the entertainment world.
Okay,
so
awesome.
She will be delighted to assist you.
Awesome, Navneet.
Yeah. Before we close down, if there is any other question, you can unmute yourself and ask right now. Otherwise, I'm going to recognize some of our people who are here. Keval Kanda is our Vice President.
Namaskar.
Ashok Madan is a live member. Then Ashok Motwani from Bombay, our live member. Dheeraj Ahuja is our live member. Raj Punjabi is with our GOPIO Manhattan, is a officer there. Then we also a new GOPIO chapter is coming up in Dallas. Vinod Mani, Muthu Mudaliar is the president. Vinod is actively involved with that. Bharat Rana is our president from GOPIO North Jersey. Then of course,
Thank you, and a happy New Year to everyone.
Yeah, Bimal Goyal, Dr. Bimal Goyal is from Manhattan, GOPIO Manhattan. She's the vice president. We also have live member Rekha Gupta from Long Island. Then we have many other community leaders and activists and people who do highly in professional, Indu Jaiswal, Rita Kashi Batika. Then of course, Rakesh Bhargava from Long Island. Ritu Chopra was here. Then the NFIA, National Federation of Indian Association, Sukrit Mukherjee. Then we have Vikas Nangya from TV Asia. And I also see Professor Vivek Nagpal also joining us. Thank you all for joining us.
Ashok Madan is also here, a live member.
Ashok Madan I did mention.
Thank you.
To ask
Thank you so much, Dr.
Vyas,
Thomas. Thank you.
Isha Vyas is still here. We're going to have, we have had our GOPIO Diaspora, GOPIO project or initiative we took that is on Diaspora Indians, Indian Diaspora Museum to be installed to have it inaugurated in Delhi. We are working on it. Now we are going to have a meeting next Saturday. This is the task force on Indian Diaspora Museum has completed its preliminary groundwork, and we have a proposal for a detailed project report which will be presented next Saturday at 11 a.m. And Miss Isha Vyas, she was here. She's also going to present something on historical thing of the Indian diaspora in various countries. So we prepared a questionnaire, as well as she's going to collect all the currently available literature, books on Indian diaspora histories in different parts of the world. So that will be next Saturday at the same time here. We have about 75 people who volunteered themselves to be involved in this project. We'll invite all of them, and anyone who wants to join for that meeting next Saturday, the same time when we started today. So anything else?
Let me take one day live number. She's there. Please recognize her too.
Yes. Let me take a minute to properly introduce Sukrit Mukherjee. Sukrit is the one. Thank you, Aparna. Sukrit is the one who introduced us to Kali Chaudhuri ji, and he's a medical doctor and a famous poet also. And he's now a community leader in the Southern Africa area. He's the president of what you may call FIA of the Los Angeles area.
It's a United Indian Associations of Southern California. He's the president starting January 1st. Yes.
Keval Kandaji was president of that just until recently, but now Sukritji is president of that. So a lot is happening in the LA area. I'm very, very happy to learn about that. And Sukritji, welcome. Look forward to your active participation.
Thank you so much, Prakashji. I'm really indebted, and thank you for your introduction. And it has been a phenomenal event, and this is the level that we have come to expect from GOPIO. And thank you for your leadership and Dr. Thomas, and also thanks to Kevalji for inviting me here. So thank you for this awesome and informative seminar and webinar that you had delivered today. Great.
Thank you. I also want to recognize Govind Munjal. Govind, come on in. He's the president of the first major organization, Association of Indians in America. And I also want to recognize Attorney Nachiket Dave from Ahmedabad. He's a young advocate there. He has been quite helpful to us in taking
Thomas, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for a beautiful session. The meeting that you're talking about for next Saturday, are we going to use the same Zoom link?
Yes, same. Invitation will be sent. This is just to give a report of what we have done so far.
Yeah.
Because the project is going very well. So we want to update all those people who have shown interest to be participating in the Indian Diaspora Museum. So,
Hi, Thomas.
Our Zoom link is the same.
Okay,
yeah, Zoom link. A separate invitation will be coming soon. I see Bruce.
Somebody wants to speak. Please go ahead.
Can you unmute and say about yourself so that you get introduced to people? Bruce, you can come in. All right.
Thomas,
okay.
This is Mridul from India. Late
night. Well, didn't know that. I see the iPhone.
Bruce is at anybody's disposal via Bhuvan.
Bruce is speaking.
Yeah.
So, Thomas, I need to interject only because we keep passing over. I want to take the moment to acknowledge we have Aparna Hande on this call, and she has been a long time GOPIO life member, also served in many leadership positions. She has led many of the health seminars in the Los Angeles area, and currently she is the vice president of the GOPIO LA chapter. I know other people
and
are
also,
coming in.
I think the Aparna ji is also the co-chair of our medical council. And we also see Hina Trivedi from Chicago, our GOPIO Chicago president. Anyway, I also see we know another person, Videsh Patel. He was there from the beginning. Videsh, you can come in. He is the co-chair of the our youth GOPIO Youth Council.
Hello, everyone.
Anyway, I think we have. Good to have you, Videsh. Yeah, we need more younger people to come and join GOPIO and take it forward. Okay, I think
Dr. Thomas, Dheeraj Ahuja has been raising his hand.
Oh, where is Dheeraj? I saw him. Dheeraj, come on in.
Yes, good evening from Delhi to everyone. Yes, I am a South Asia coordinator for GOPIO, and now I wish to say very proudly we are going to bring Mini India to USA and UK in next 6 months. Now we are doing Best of Bharat Expo in Mauritius next month. It is going to be a very big expo, and Mr. Thomas and Mr. Prakash knows about everything under the banner of GOPIO. This this activity is acknowledged highly in the government of India and in government of Mauritius as well.
Thank you.
We are taking Mini India there, and we are bringing Mini India to other countries wherever the Indian diaspora is there.
Thank you, Dheeraj. Thank you. I also want to recognize Angela Anand, who is the former president of National Federation of Indian Association, and currently she is vice chair of Asian American Unity Coalition, of which GOPIO is also a member. And also wanted to recognize Lalitha Kamba Party. Lalitha and Vuppala, they are trying to educate our community in AI. In fact, Vuppala, you can take a few seconds to tell what you're going to do this Sunday onwards. Vuppala, go ahead. You have 30 seconds.
Okay, and after that, I come back to you, Mr. Bruce Rabin. I'll just take a few seconds. So we educate AI to people who don't think that they need to know AI or they are too overwhelmed by it. So this Sunday onwards, we are starting a 10-week session, 1 hour each, for just going through the journey right from zero to becoming a hero, like becoming AI confident about what all is available to you and what all you can do. I'll share the details in the chat. And this is from my company, AI Junoon.
And it's a very nominal cost. She's charging only $120 for 15 sessions, right?
Yeah, 10 sessions, but we can extend to the bonus ones.
Thank you. Bruce, come on in. We are going to finish right now. Bruce, if you can come in.
If you can unmute yourself, Bruce.
Yeah. Angela, you want to say anything? Angela?
Let's Bruce say something, and he's out there now.
All right. Okay. Finally, I think we sat down for about 1.5 hours. Everybody did real good work, including the speakers. We thank all of you. But before we go, we need to do little yoga, because we are sitting on the chair for 1.5 hours, and some of us were there for the last 2 hours. So may I bring in Trilok?
I thought we're waiting for Bruce to say something.
Bruce need to say something first.
Bruce, can you come in right now? So we're going to...
Sure. This is Bruce Rabin in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and a long, multi-decade friend and fan of Bhuvan. And he told me about this event and sent me an invitation. So, pretty much anything Bhuvan asks of me, there's only one answer, and that's yes. And I'm an old American investment banker who, got on the wrong airplane and landed in Riyadh, and I've been here for about 3 years. I have a Saudi partner and advise a few family offices. And, aside from being a big fan of Bhuvan's, I'm a big fan of India. And I think, the country has such a fabulous opportunity. And with the, I say seeming chaos, but maybe real chaos that seems to be going around in the world, I think it actually represents opportunity to India. If anybody, has any reason to come through or into town, I'd be delighted to host and be of any assistance that I could.
Thank you, Bruce. Fascinating story what you're doing. Anyway, we'll bring in filmmaker, producer, director, Trilok Malik. Trilok ji, I think
yes,
you are
I'm here.
India, I think.
I'm
he's
here.
also produced the first film, Lonely in America, as early as 1990. Trilok ji, go ahead. And we are doing it because we are sitting there and we are going to do a little laughing yoga. Go ahead, Trilok.
Hello, everybody. It was a great session. And besides that, I want to make a point about the media and film industry. Yes, Thomas sir, we should encourage that, as you were the, at my Muhurat of the first film. And Bhuvanji also knows. So anyway, to end up the session, we're going to laugh at the beauty and absurdity of life.
Thanks.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Navneet. Thank you, all the speakers. Anil ji, you did a wonderful job. You kept
Thank you,
the
Anil ji.
timing very well.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate.
Thank you.
And all the speakers
you.
was excellent.